From Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, tonight the New York Yankees take on the Boston Red Sox. The starting pitchers for tonight's game. For the Red Sox, right-hander Roger Clemens. He's won 11 and lost none. And for the Yankees, left-hander Ron Guidry, his record 4 wins and 6 losses. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yankee Stadium. Bill White along with Billy Martin. And, Billy, the Yankees have their work cut out for them against these tough Boston Red Sox.
The Red Sox are hot, and they're in first place, and that's true, Bill, but I think the Yankees will rise up to the occasion. As
we look at the standings, the Yankees are 3.5 behind Boston and only a game ahead of Baltimore. That was a good series on in Baltimore.
It was. 3 out of 4 was outstanding. Could have won the 5th game with a little luck, but that's yesterday's newspaper.
And the Toronto Blue Jays, last year's American League East champions, 10 back, but I think everybody has a shot still.
I still think it's going to be a tough race. I don't think anything is won in this month, but I think if you come down August and September, then you're going to see things happening.
There have been 4 guys who've keyed this Red Sox drive. First of all, Roger Clemens. He's 11-0 and not too bad for a youngster.
Well, that's what you call a stopper, and that means that the Red Sox will never really have a big losing streak. 3 has been their most this year, and this man has come in and just done a sensational job.
And Don Baylor supplied the long ball and some key runs batted in.
Same old Don Baylor. Always has a good year. I tell you, he's just a fine man, and I'm happy for him.
Another guy, a couple of guys who are having good years. Of course, Wade Boggs is out. Wade Boggs, Jim Rice.
Well, Wade Boggs with that .353 lifetime batting average, and Jim Rice was always tough against us. Both of them are just great hitters. I'm glad Boggs is out of there tonight, and it would be nice if he could miss the whole series.
Well, have you ever heard of a guy hurting himself taking off cowboy boots?
They probably bought his boots at the wrong store.
Where should he have bought the boots?
Billy Martin's.
Now, Ron Guidry has got to crank up a good game. He's lost 5 straight. He's got to go out there, I think, and give 7 or 8 good innings.
I think you're right, Bill. He's pitched well enough to win a lot of the ball games that he's pitched, but he needs to have some runs scored for him, and just hope tonight the Yankees score him some runs.
And a new coach tonight for the Yankees, third base coach Don Zimmer. Of course, he's been here before as a coach. He also managed Boston.
Well, we're welcoming Don back. I hope that he brings us a little luck. I hope he left the bad luck back there with the Cubs and does a good job for us.
And I'm sure Don Zimmer remembers this. That's Bucky Dent in 1978. Bucky hit that ball on top of the screen over the Green Monster.
I think he's had a few nightmares about that one.
So we welcome Don Zimmer back, and we'll be back with the Yankees and the Red Sox, the first of 3 right after these messages. Participating advertisers in New York Yankee baseball are your Toyota dealer and the Toyota Celica. Performance and style, who could ask for anything more? Busch, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name. Eastern Airlines, official airline of the New York Yankees. We earn our wings every day. Your local Dodge Boys. Dodge Boys have more fun because Dodge Boys sell more fun. And by the New York Yankees. Here's the Red Sox lineup. Marty Barrett leading off. Ed Romero batting second. Bill Buckner third. Jim Rice will bat fourth. Don Baylor, the designated hitter, will hit fifth. Dwight Evans sixth. Tony Armas seventh. Rich Gedman eighth. And Ray Quinones will bat ninth. For the Yankees, Ricky Henderson leads off. Don Mattingly bats second. Dave Winfield third. Mike Easler, the designated hitter, bats fourth. Ken Griffey fifth. Mike Pagliarulo sixth. Ron Hasse seventh. Willie Randolph eighth. And Ivan De Jesus will bat ninth. And defensively for the Yankees, Don Mattingly's at first base. Willie Randolph playing second. Ivan De Jesus playing a shortstop. Mike Pagliarulo at third. Ken Griffey in left. Ricky Henderson in center field, Dave Winfield in right, and Ron Hasse will catch. Bob Merrill and the national anthem. The fans are still coming in here for this first of 3 between the Boston Red Sox. They're on top of the American League East by 3.5 games over the second place New York Yankees. And 4.5 over the third place Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles, the only one of the 3 teams to win yesterday, as they edged the Yankees 4-3, while Boston was losing to the Milwaukee Brewers. So the teams using their aces. Ron Guidry, runner-up last year for the Cy Young Award voting, and the youngster Roger Clemens, who's way ahead so far, Scooter, I would think, in the voting would be way ahead in the voting for the Cy Young Award this year. We look at Guidry's record. In 13 games, he's won 4, lost 6, 5 of those in a row for the first time in his career. His ERA 3.59, and Guidry, at some time during this year, has been a victim of lack of support. He's lost 3 games by just 1 run. So Ron Guidry on the mound for the Yankees, and he'll face this tough right-handed hitting Red Sox lineup. And here to tell you about it, a tough right-handed hitter himself, the Scuda. First of all, let's get to the umpires. Don Dinkinger is behind the plate. Mike Riley at first base. Drew Coble at second. And Tim McClellan at third. And umpiring in the booth, here's Phil Rizzuto.
Thank you very much. I don't mind coming after the umpires. Did you introduce the people down the right field line? Buddy Rich is here tonight. I haven't heard you say anything about him.
Buddy Rich is here?
Yeah. Gonna play the drums a little bit.
Is the mayor of Hillside here?
No, not tonight. This is a big night at home. They got a lot of
course you know
meetings.
it, don't you?
Oh, yes, very well.
What's his name?
All right, wait a minute. Marty Barrett ready to lead off. And the Yankees do catch a break here tonight, White, in that Wade Boggs not in the starting lineup. So I believe he has tender wrists.
Ribs.
Wait a minute. One report said ribs. Another report said wrists. And I'm going to wait till the third report comes out before I say what it is. Don't. Holy cow. First pitch. Home run in Fenway. Good thing we're not up in Boston. Now, Guidry has been really snake-bit with home runs this year, White. He has allowed, it's not too bad, 11 home runs. It's the most on the Yankees, but that's not too bad to compare to Morris, who's given 21. And the kid down in Baltimore gave up 20. But as you mentioned, Guidry somewhere along the line, as the all-time series, the Yankees ahead, has got to change his pitching style. He's changed it a couple of times, but not successfully. Well, tonight we've seen him throw 2 sliders inside, and he's pulled them foul.
Well, that's all you can do with that pitch in there. It's hard to hit it fair. If you swing at it and get the bat on it, you've got to pull it. And pull it foul.
All right, now the fans want a strikeout. The Yankees have beaten the Red Sox 8 consecutive times. Well, Guidry meditating a little bit. Still pitching inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Barrett likes the ball out and away because he likes to hit the ball toward right field. He is not a pull hitter.
Closed stance by Barrett. And he got the ball over the plate and he drilled it into center field. Now, I hope that was not Guidry's fastball because that had not too much on it. And Barrett drilled it. And that brings up Ed Romero. Hitting .216. No homers, 10 RBIs. Barrett was up there hitting .278. Romero standing deep in the box. Way inside. I don't know about this new thing of Guidry. Now he's trying to pitch first 2 hitters way inside.
Well, he's been getting hurt when he's gotten the ball out over the plate.
Just throw everything low. Throw about 82 sliders and maybe 3 fastballs. 2 balls, no strikes. And you're right about one thing, White. That crowd, it's that upper stands down the right field line and left field line in about 2 more innings will be filled, but the traffic is unbelievably bad. This is the second time. Remember, in Baltimore, it took me over 2 hours to get to the park. Tonight, it took me over 2 hours.
You walking?
No, I'm not walking. The traffic, I mean, the kids are putting their heads out the windows and yelling, "We're going to get them, thumbs up." I'm not kidding you. Big night in the Bronx.
Barrett has stolen 5 bases this year. He's been caught 3 times. This team basically not a base stealing team. They depend on swinging the bat.
That's for sure, because Barrett leads the team in stolen bases with 5. That's 3-0. And like I said, I hope, as we look at the third base coach,
Latchman. He's the guy that got fired by Seattle.
Rene Latchman?
Yes, sir.
I know he's got a brother. And over at first base, four pitches, ball four. And now Mark Connor's going to come out and have a little chat.
Number 6, Bill Buckner, first base, number 6.
All right, Mark Connor goes back. Bill Buckner. Boy, he's down to 230, 6 homers, 32 RBI. They've been winning ball games without getting a lot of base hits like they normally do. First and second, nobody out. Ball one, and Guidry now has thrown 5 straight balls and almost looks like he's aiming. Yeah, the Cubbies won another one. The Stick has won 2 out of 3 since being manager. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. I told you about Guidry last couple of times he's pitched, his new style of taking a lot of extra time. I don't know whether I like that or not. He used to like to get that ball and just get the sign and throw. Sort of getting a good rhythm that way. Oh, I had him fishing for that one, low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Buckner very seldom goes after too many bad balls. That was obviously out of hitting range. No way he'd get the bat there. That slider went down and away. Really fooled him.
The Yankees, they get Buckner to hit on the ground, could get a double play. Doesn't run that well. And he threw the bat at the ball. Boy, that's 2 he's been fooled on. He did get a piece of it. And he got the souvenir. And Buckner gets his bat back. Something we very seldom see Buckner do. As Bill said, he got a pretty good idea of the strike zone. But he must be in a slump to be hitting down at 230.
And here's a pitch away, not as far as the other one, and the only way you can control it is throw the bat at it. That falls right on the outside corner.
Yep. All right, a ball and 2 strikes, nobody out, no score. One of the biggest series of the year right here. The Yankees and the Red Sox. And again he went fishing. Man, I tell you, they are outside the strike zone. And especially that pitch, Guidry must be breaking real late. Three straight pitches that were away from the plate, and Buckner went fishing. Now, a lot of people would say, why didn't he come inside? And there's a bounce. He could get 2. Good play. Get him. Safe. No. It was a good try, but Willie did not run him back quite far enough to first base.
Well, that's the second time Willie's made that play, and the second time he sort of has botched it up. Here it is again. Now, he's got to tag the guy running in the scoring position.
Yes, absolutely. And
that's Romero. He lets Romero get by him. He had plenty of time to get Buckner. Now Romero sneaks in the second base. Willie had that same play earlier and made the same mistake.
It was a great play by Romero, but all Willie had to do was hold the ball in his hand, run at Romero. If he started back to first, then as he's going to first, he'd throw the ball automatically, and they got Romero in a rundown. But here, if he can't get him, he's got to tag that man. Now they got second and third instead of First and third. And Jim Rice, the batter, one man out. That play just goes 4-3. Ball one.
This man scares you in this ballpark because he not only can hit the ball out of here to left field, he's hit quite a few home runs here at the stadium to right field.
And he's got all that room in left center and right center. He can hit some vicious line drives. And he's having a fine year hitting at .326 with 20 doubles. But he's only got 6 homers and 43 runs batted in. And there's a base hit. 2 runs are going to score. And the Red Sox lead 2-0. And that's how quickly it can happen.
And here it is again. Ball's out over the plate for Rice. He goes right back up the middle. A clean single up the middle. And 2-run score. And it's important. The play we mentioned on Randolph was important because had he got the runner going towards second base, they'd now have runners at first and second or first and third. Only 1 run in.
That's right.
You always got to get that man in scoring position.
All right, here's Don Baylor. And a slow curveball is over, strike call. Baylor batting .242, you see that. 15 homers, 44 runs batted in. And that's fouled back and out of play, 0-2. The Yankees played outstanding defensive ball except for the final game against Baltimore. But you got to make those big plays in the important ball games, and that was a big play that Willie did not make.
Basically, it's a judgment play. I'm sure Willie thought he could chase the guy back and then throw the first base, and Mattingly's throw would get him. But if there's ever any doubt, you've got to keep the guy out of scoring position.
Right. Bouncer foul. 0-2. Pagliarulo at third base. In the first inning, it doesn't look like Guidry has thrown anything that really is going to fool anybody. Outside of Buckner, he had him fishing for some pitch. But what I mean is a good hard slider or fastball that might strike somebody out. And that's what he needs right now. And a check swing foul. Still 0-2. Two nothing. The Red Sox lead. He jumped off in a hurry. One ball, 2 strikes. Jim Rice leading off first. It's no threat to steal. He has stolen 2 bases and been caught twice. No, he doesn't. He has not stolen the base, been caught once. And another base hit. I tell you, he hung that curveball right up in Baylor's eyes. And that bullpen got to start getting heated up. First and second, and Dwight Evans, the batter.
Dwight Evans.
Evans hitting .236, 16 doubles, a triple, 5 homers, and 26 runs batted in.
Well, the Yankee bullpen will get busy, and Alfonso Polito gets up, and he'll start throwing. There's Polito.
Youngster started against Baltimore. And there's ball 1 to Dwight Evans. I have seen games where Guidry started off not having a fastball or a slider, and later on in the game come up with it. But right now he doesn't have either one. All right, but he got away with that one. Winfield is under it and makes the catch. Great arm of Winfield. Rice fake going and then went back.
Well, he doesn't want to get thrown out at third base in that situation. That would have been the third out, so the veteran just played it safe. Here's Winfield going back. Rice knows he can throw, and Jim just takes a couple of steps off second and then watches the ball go over to De Jesus.
All right, Rice at second. And now Tony Armas. Armas batting .230. 6 doubles, 1 homer, 6 runs batted in. Strike one. Looks like a pretty potent lineup they got there, Wade.
They do have a potent lineup. They're not hitting for average,
No.
but this guy's not having a good year. Only 1 home run this year and 6 runs batted in. Coming off an injury year of last year.
1-1 the count.
And unless you have a good fastball, he can turn you and get around on you and hit the ball a long way. Normally, with Armas, you try to go up the ladder, throw him high fastballs around the letters, then just keep going up and he'll chase it. But you've got to have a good fastball to do that.
Full foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Guidry has had 2 strikes on just about every hitter, but he's not been able to get that third one by him.
First time we've seen him do that in a while. Normally, Ron will go out between the mound and second base and give himself a little pep talk. He hadn't been doing that.
All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on, 2-0 Red Sox lead. 2-2.
He tried to get it up to get Armas to hack at it, but it wasn't close enough. You get it over the plate, he'll go at that high fastball.
All right, they got to get this third out with no further damage. Rice leading off second. And foul back off the shin guard of Ron Hasse. Now Guidry taking that walk back. Lou Piniella chewing his gum, a little bit relaxed right now, but this is such an important series. The Yankees 3.5 games behind. Line, that's a base hit to left field. Griffey's got a shot at him. Couldn't get the ball out of his glove, and he's just going to beat it. He had trouble getting the ball out of his glove. He made a perfect throw, but Rice beats it. And it's 3-0 now, Red Sox.
Number 10.
And here Griffey just double clutches a little bit, makes a strong throw home. But Rice sliding across ahead of the tag by Hasse. Baylor did not go to third. He stayed at second base, although the throw went over Palirulo's head.
There's Baylor at second. Now Rich Gedman, the batter.
I think Don's lost some weight. Unless that Red Sox uniform fits him a little better.
All right, Gedman hitting .273. Ball 1. Gedman has 11 doubles, 4 homers, and 18 runs batted in. 3-0, the Red Sox leading. Two balls, no strikes. And this crowd's going to start asking for some raw meat pretty soon. Going to get a little mean. Three balls, no strikes. And Polito continues to throw in the bullpen. Gets Torborg out there. Three and one. Strike two, 3-2. So the runners will be going full count and 2 out. Slice foul. Baylor heads back to second. And Amos slowly returning to first. Now a little hustle. Edmund with that open stance had a big year last year. And bounced to short. De Jesus fires him out. And 8 men go to bat. The Red Sox pick up 3 runs on 4 base hits. No errors, 2 men left in the middle of the first. Boston 3 and the Yankees coming to bat.
And they'll have Bill Buckner at first base, Marty Barrett at second, Ray Quinones at the shortstop, Ed Romero at third, Jim Rice in left, Tony Armas in center, and Dwight Evans, a right fielder. And behind the plate for Boston, Rich Gedman. And on the mound, the youngster who's won 11 games and lost none. This is his 13th start, 4 complete games, including a shutout, right-hander Roger Clemens. He has 104 strikeouts in 98 2/3 innings. So it'll be Roger Clemens, and the Red Sox have already staked him to a 3-0 lead. And if he gives up his 2.26 runs, Phil, it's all over.
Yep. We got to pick up 3 to tie. Big kid, you can see the confidence he's got now. Remember when we did see him pitch, he had looked like he was worried because he had control problems. And man, he's doing it all now. All right, here's Ricky Henderson to lead it off for the Yankees. He has really been a bright spot for the Yankees all year, batting .276, 17 doubles, 2 triples, 11 homers, 36 runs batted in, and 43 stolen bases. 5-game hitting streak. He loves that Baltimore ballpark and the pitching. And he went after that first pitch. Good first ball fastball hitter and fouled it off. And another fastball fouled off. Big, strong right-hander. Ball 1.
That sounded outside.
There's
Rube
the record.
Marquardt at
Yep.
19-0. The 1912 Giants.
Ooh, slider got him.
Elroy Face went 17-0 for the 1959 Pirates. Johnny Allen 15-0 for the 1937 Indians as we watch that breaking ball.
Good pitch. Started at the middle, hit the corner.
Dave McNally in 1969 for Baltimore went 15-0 along with Johnny Allen of Cleveland in 37. So, and a lot of guys who've got off well.
All right. Mattingly at .322, 12 homers, 52 runs batted in, ball 1. Don also has 18 doubles.
Guidry went 13-0 in 1978.
2-0. That's right. It was either Toronto or Minnesota that stopped his streak when he was going red hot. Somebody at the time who was not. But Toronto was not a contender then, but I don't know whether it was they or Minnesota. And in the hole, but right there, Buckner flips to Clemens, and they got Mattingly, and 2 men are out.
That was a slider that got in on Mattingly, hit him on the fist. A little slow bouncer to Buckner. Skitz has good stuff. He's got the good fastball, obviously, and then the quick slider that runs in on runs in on left-handers away from right-handers, and he had that sweeping slider, the one he struck out to Henderson.
Right. All right, here's Winfield, 243, 12 homers, 45 runs batted in. Dave still has the pants up high. Strike one. Boy, that is a good fastball. You know, the Red Sox have only 45 home runs.
They've been getting great pitching.
They sure have. There it is. The new look, Dave Winfield. Behind knees. That's strike two. Look at Dave. Hand on the hip. Thought it was a little low.
Baylor leads with 15. Buckner has 6. Rice has 6.
Look at that, White. Look at those statistics, but they're in first place. The homers, the runs scored, and the stolen
difference
bases.
is the pitching.
Right, and pitching is more important than all those things put together. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out.
Got a guy 11-0. You should be in first place. Everybody else, all they've got to do is pitch close to 500.
They're pitching almost 3/4 of a run less per game than the Yankees.
15 complete games to 4 for the Yankees. They use less pitchers overall.
Pop-up that might go out of play. Buckner going to run out of room.
The point is, can they continue to pitch this way, and can they continue to play? They're in a mini slump now. Milwaukee took pretty good care of them. They've jumped out here to a 3-0 lead. The Yankees coming off a tough series in Baltimore. You wonder psychologically, are they going to be up for the Red Sox? Sometimes you take the Red Sox for granted. You say, oh, they're going to fold.
Yeah.
This isn't the same ball club that's been playing for the Red Sox.
Slider outside. It's 2-2.
They've got Baylor now. They've got Quinones at shortstop. Clemens a pitcher. They've got Hurst on the disabled list. Oil Can Boyd. There's some good young arms.
Yep, look at that. 1978 revisited. Get Bucky Dent up here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a bouncer to short. And Quinones throws him out. So the Yankees go down in order. And at the end of 1 full inning, it's the Red Sox 3 and the Yankees nothing.
By authority of the Yankees, and WPIXN is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game or any segment without the express or written consent of the Yankees is prohibited. Scooter?
All right, William, and the 9th batter in the lineup, the shortstop, takes a slider from Guidry low. Batting .221, 1 homer, 8 runs batted in. And a high fly ball, man. That would have been trouble at Fenway. That would have been gone at Fenway. Way up in the screen. Griffey by the warning track. Quinones. How did you pronounce it, White? I mean, you got
Quinones.
Quinones.
Second baseman.
Dulio, how do you pronounce it? Quinones. Okay. Quinones. Okay. All right, here we go. Marty Barrett. Barrett, who led off the ball game with a single and scored. Up for his second look at Guidry. Strike one. One man out. And bounced to third. Pags up, bobbled it momentarily, but plenty of time and throws him out.
Had it out in the webbing, and as he came up with it, it just flipped a bit in the webbing, but he controlled. Barrett waited well on that slider as he got up. Watch Pags here now. It's out in the webbing. There it is. Little juggle there with plenty of time. Third basemen always have plenty of time.
They really do. Got to have a strong chest. Knock down those line drives, and there's a strike to Romero, who walked and scored in the first inning. 3-0 Red Sox lead. One and one. Guidry gets squared away here. And that should do it. hit off the end of the bat. Griffey went back, now comes in and makes the catch. So, 1-2-3 inning. And at the end of an inning and a half, it's the Red Sox 3, the Yankees nothing. And now let's pause for station identification.
Big night here at Yankee Stadium following the 6 p.m. game with the Tigers. The Thornapple Valley folks will sponsor the Grucci fireworks display and a special music concert featuring legendary Hall of Fame stars Jerry Lee Lewis and Fats Domino. Scooter?
All right, with him, and the batter now, Mike Eastler. So Guidry had that rough first inning, giving up 3 runs and 4 hits. Got them out in order in the second. The Yankees went down in order in the first. And now it'll be Eastler, Griffey, and Pagliarulo. Strike one to Mike. Eastler batting .302, 13 doubles, a triple, 6 homers, and 31 runs batted in. And in the hole, through a base hit. So Eastler hit one right on the nose past the diving Barrett. And
ball is down, and Eastler pulls it. Barrett doesn't have that much range. That's the only knock on him. He hits a ball. Does not have much range and is really not quick, but he can get on base for you.
He can do that. All right, that might be the start of something big for the Yankees. They got to get something going here. The batter now, Ken Griffey. Griffey hitting .271, 4 doubles, 7 homers, and 21 runs batted in. Nobody out. Ball 1. Bill Buckner signaling that, let's see, is he going to play in back of the runner? Nope. He wants to know where to play. Now he's going to back up. And a perfect double play ball. He gets the double play. He did it the hard way. The shortstop was there, but he took it himself. And besides that, the ball came up to Barrett.
Nice play here by Barrett. He knows he has plenty of time. Touches up and throws with the same motion. And they get Griffey easily on the back end.
All right, here's Pags with 2 out, nobody on. And fouls on the upper deck on the left side. Might have split the bat. See, he checks it. No, it looks like it's all right. Pags leading the Yankees with 14 homers, hitting .245. Ooh, that one right by him.
That's good mustard.
That is.
And the ball moves a little bit, which makes it even better. This kid has good stuff pitched at Texas. Arm problems last year, but he's back 100%.
Bounced that breaking pitch in front of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. There's Don Zimmer, the newest Yankee. Took over third base coaching job from the stick. Zimmer was fired from his coaching job with the Cubs. Joe Altobelli moves back to first. Joe was coaching at third while Michaels was out in Chicago. And it's still a ball and 2 strikes. Yankees got to peck away here. It looks like with this guy Clemens, I got to get just 1 at a time. And there's a base hit. Ripped to left center. That could be a double. It will be a double. Jim Rice circled that ball. And it's a double for Pagliarulo. So you see how big that double play was. Well, this got to give the Yankee hitters a little confidence, White.
Well, a couple of base hits here this inning, and here's Pagliarulo's double. That's a slider that hung up. That was not the Clemens fastball. That slider hung up, and Pagliarulo hit it into left center field with Rice cutting it off.
All right, Ron Hasse, the batter. Hasse hitting .252, 7 doubles, 3 homers, and 12 runs batted in. 2 men are out. Red Sox lead 3-0. Ooh, he ducked out of the way, and the ball hit the bat. Strike one.
Ball run up and in. He really has good movement on his fastball.
Yeah, he certainly does. Not that straight fastball. Strike two. He's only walked 26 men. As you mentioned, struck out 104. Throw that hard, you figure he's going to walk more men. Nothing in two out. Woo, just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hassey's getting hot with the bat. And there's a base hit. That'll be a double, and that's going to score Pags. Ground rule double. Holy cow, if they hadn't hit into that double play, White, this would be a tie ball game about now.
Well, yeah, that's the game, though. As Hassey, swinging late, slices one down the left field line. A fan grabbed it for fan interference. A run scores, and Hassey waved on to second base.
All right, that was big, good clutch hitting by Pagliarulo and Hassey. And now Willie Randolph. Pags coming around, score easily as he turns around to look. And Hassey at second. Hassey, his 13th run batted in, his 8th double. And it's a 3-1 ball game. And what a gap in left center field for Willie Randolph. They figure with Clemens' fastball, look at all that room between Rice and Amos. High, let up a little with a slider, ball 1.
Well, what they're trying to do is take away Randolph's favorite spot. That's that right center slot. He hits a line drive center field. He can run all day.
That's right. All right, 2 men are out. But he hits it to right center, but too high in the air. And the right fielder, Evans, calls and makes the catch. But the Yankees bounce back with a run on 3 hits. No errors, and they leave a man. And at the end of 2, it's the Red Sox 3 and the Yankees 1. And Billy Martin's no stranger to this rivalry with the Red Sox and the Yankees. It's one of the greatest of all time, Bill.
Hey, no question about it, Phil. It's your blood starts boiling a little bit down there. You want to beat them because, you know, they've always been a great ball club, right back from the 50s when we played against them.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, and the fans, they get into it. Now, this crowd is still going to come in. These stands are going to be filled. The traffic is brutal.
Well, it's a little tough. They all try to get out here at the same time, and they're backed up a little bit out there.
Yeah, but they're going to see before this game is over. You know, a lot of them come in and say, well, how did the Red Sox 3 runs in the first inning? But the Yankees battled back. If it wasn't for that double play, it could be a tie ball game right about now.
It sure could have, Phil, but there's a lot of baseball to be played yet.
All right, now it looks like Guidry settled down. That first inning, he had absolutely nothing. I mean, they were just teeing off on him.
You know, some pitchers will go through that, Phil. They'll start off real slow, and then they'll proceed to get a little sharper out there. They'll start throwing a little better fastball. Sometimes they start out, they don't even have a good breaking ball, and then they come up with a good breaking ball.
No, that's absolutely right. I said if he can get his sea legs. I remember guys like Vic Raschi'd have trouble in the first inning, get by that first couple innings.
And you have a lot of rookies that first inning is a tough inning for them also. Their adrenaline's going a little bit, and they're a little nervous out there. Then after they settle down, they're tough.
All right, Bill Buckner's going to lead off. We're waiting for Ron Hassey, who took a little extra time. He had some problems with his shin guards down in Baltimore.
Well, he's been getting knocked down quite a bit.
Oh, yes, he certainly.
Poor guy's taking a beating back there.
Not only by the pitches, but with foul tips.
Yeah.
But he's been doing a fine job, I'd say. He's a good man to have around.
Well, he handles pitchers well, too, Phil. I like the way he handles the pitchers. He calls the inside fastball once in a while. He's not afraid to take a chance on a curveball in 3 and 2.
Right.
And he knows his pitchers. I think that's the secret for a catcher. He has to know his pitchers.
Yeah, well, he studies them a lot. He's around them a lot. You like to see a guy like that. All right, he's finally ready.
And you don't read too much about in the papers what he has to say either. If he's got anything to say, he comes in your office, talks to you like a man.
All right, Buckner will be the batter now, and Buckner had a rough time against Guidry. He swung at about 3 bad pitches that were about a foot outside each time.
It's the worst I've ever seen him swing a bat.
Well, you see what he's hitting, 230. Now it's down to 229, but...
Now he knows how it feels, huh?
That's right. He's been just about a lifetime 300 hitter. Those guys don't know what it is to get in a slump.
They hit 250 and still battle out there. Easy to battle out there when you're hitting 300,
That's
right?
1 ball, no strikes on Buckner. He bounced out to Willie Randolph his first time up. And 2 balls, no strikes.
Gid's having a little problem with that breaking ball right this time. He's trying to be a little fine with it.
He didn't look like he had his good fastball or breaking ball in the first inning. Second inning, he got him out 1-2-3.
That was a pretty good pitch.
It certainly was, and Guidry wanted that. It's 3-0. He very seldom argues with the umpire. Plate umpire Don Denkinger. And that's ball 4. Guidry's second walk. First walk came around to score. That was Romero.
Jim Rice.
And now Jim Rice, who got the big base hit in that inning, a single to drive in 2 runs.
That ball was out over the plate, wasn't it, Phil?
Yep. He was trying to pitch him inside, and he got those arms out and drilled it.
Well, that's where he likes it. He likes the ball out over where he can extend his arms. That's where his power is, left center and right center. You try to jam him if you can. Of course, Guidry doesn't pitch that way, doesn't pitch in.
You know, he's having an unusual year in that he's batting higher than normal. He's close to 330, but he has only 6 home runs.
That is rare for him.
Yep. Oh, what a jump he had. Holy cow, they'll never get him. I don't care who's running. Holy cow, Guidry let Buckner get a tremendous jump on him. And for Buckner, that's only his first stolen base of the year. But he had a running jump.
He had that easy.
Yep.
Well, that's a gamble you take over there. Just take a chance he's not going to throw over there, and if he doesn't, you got it.
And you got it, right. And they do not have a running ball club.
No, I wouldn't say they're running.
No, I mean, Barrett leads with 5 stolen base. They got a total of 14 now, counting that one. Ricky Henderson gets that in a week.
I had a ball club that had that in a year.
Which one was that?
Detroit.
Detroit. That's pretty tough to try trick plays with a club that doesn't run. All right, 1-1 now on Jim Rice. Nobody out. Buckner at second base. Another base hit and another RBI for Rice. And the Red Sox lead 4-1. I tell you, that slider is not breaking at all. It's just about hanging. Pinella's got to come out very shortly to get Guidry, or it could be an embarrassing night for Guidry.
Well, he's got 2 people warming up out there right now. I can't say. It looks like Whitson's one of them.
Whitson and the kid Polito, who started down in Baltimore.
Well, Polito would be rough on his right-handed hitters with that little screwball of his.
Yep. Now Hatsie's going out to waste a little time.
He probably got a call from Lou to tell him to go out there and slow him down.
And here comes Lou now, and I believe that's going to be all for Guidry. I know how Lou hates to do this, and I imagine you too with a pitcher like Guidry, but...
Now you hate to. That's why they put that manager's label on you, Phil. You hate to do it, but you have to sometimes.
You have to do it. I guess the toughest thing I've heard all managers, including you, say is when you have to cut a veteran or a rookie in spring training or during the season.
Or release the player, too, Phil.
Release, yes, that's another one.
When you know he's not going to be making a living, it kind of gets to you. I don't like to tell him. I always try to get the general manager, and they don't usually like to tell him. Then we get somebody else to tell him.
Well, he wants Whitson, and he waited as long as he possibly could. So it's not going to be the left-hander Polito. But while the pitching change is being made, let's take time out along the Yankee Baseball Network for the following message. Well, there's Ed Whitson making his 12th appearance He's won 5 and lost 2, but got a high earned run average. He's come in some odd situations with the pitcher. Like, I remember Rasmussen had a big lead, couldn't hold it. Whitson was the beneficiary a couple other times, but
he pitches well every once in a while. Then he runs into a couple of streaks where he can't get anybody out. But it isn't that he's not trying. He just can't do it right now.
You know, and he seems to throw very hard with a pretty good slider. But a lot of people say his fastball doesn't move that much. This kid Clemens.
It doesn't, Phil, but he used to have a good palm ball. He has to have an all-speed pitch to complement his slider and his fastball. And if he comes up with that all-speed pitch, then his fastball will be that much more faster.
Yeah, that's right. If you throw a pitch consistently at the same speed and pace all the time, they got to get used to it.
The hitters will time you a lot easier.
Yep.
Now, I bet you tomorrow, Phil, you won't read anything about Guidry making any alibis. That's the kind of guy
I know it. I know it. The most he'll say is, I just didn't have it.
That's right. That's the way it should be.
Yep.
Take it like a man.
All right, here's Don Baylor, who singled in the first inning. Ball 1, and it was kind of unusual. Detroit leading Baltimore 1-0 in the third, but Baylor and Isla both got a single their first time up against the team that traded them.
Yeah, you always like to do that, don't you?
Yep. Oh, now he got that in a good spot. Wow. Down and in.
Well, Baylor will chase the ball if you get ahead of him, especially if the ball's up out of the strike zone. He'll go after it.
Yeah, he does like the ball up. This one, he got down. 1-1 the count. Nobody out. Red Sox lead 4-1. 2 balls and a strike.
Nice play by Hasse. Well, Stick won another one, didn't he?
Yep. He's 3-1 over there. Way inside. And a lot of pitchers will make you do that. They let you hit long fouls.
They used to make Joe Collins hit about 14 foul balls. He hit him 9 miles in the upper deck, and Baylor's the same way.
Yep.
Get 2 strikes on, then go after the pitch that you want to strike him out on.
Right.
Which, right in this case, will probably be a breaking ball away.
All right, 2-2. There it is, and he got it off the end of the bat. They're going to have to hurry to get him, and it's going to drop. And it gets by Henderson. They got to shut it. And they got him. What a play by Pagliarulo. Henderson's throw was offline, but Pags made a tremendous catch and a dive, Billy.
No question about it, Phil. That was also bad base running by Rice. He stopped. And once you get a big man stopping like that, it's hard to get him going again.
Right.
He should have made the bigger turn and make Ricky throw the ball. After he throws the ball, then you can stop. See?
Now he runs by it, right?
There again, Phil. There again is, don't take anything for granted. He figured he was going to catch the ball, and he didn't catch the ball. You're
absolutely right. Well, Rice is not noted as a base runner. De Jesus can't get it, and then it goes off Henderson's glove, and saw Rice there. Now he throws flat-footed here. Gets a lot on it, but a little off, and nice diving tag by Pagliarulo.
Super play by Pags.
All right, and going to second on the play was Baylor. Strike 1. He hit it off the end of the bat. Took a big swing, and Griffey, Henderson, and De Jesus could not get to it. Here's Dwight Evans, who flied to right. Takes a strike. 1 out. One.
Dwight's had some good years up there for Boston.
Oh,
he's been an outstanding player. I used to hate to see him come up in clutch situation.
Man, what an outfield. Everybody knows what kind of arm he's got. 2 balls and a strike.
And he plays shallow out there.
Which is good.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Makes the single hitters have to drive the ball over his head, and they're not going to do it.
Right. 1 man out. And that's upstairs and out of play.
He jammed them in, Phil. Got in his kitchen.
All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes. How do you like that, huh? They're in back of him. Boy, all he's got to do is give him a good game. Yankees just looking for some heroes to applaud. He got him. Oh, man.
Good pitch. Real good pitch.
Well, that was up and in, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, Phil.
Let's watch it. Oh, did he? Yeah, he couldn't get his arms out. He really, watch this. How his hand.
If he would have hit the ball, his fingers would have stuck to the bat.
All right, big strikeout for Whitson. Red Sox lead 4-1 here in the top of the third. Baylor at second base, and here's Tony Amos, who's single to drive in a run.
You've got to watch him in the first pitch, Phil.
He went after it, fouled it off, and it got Hasse again.
Yep. He's going to look like at the end of the season like he had the measles. He'll have so many marks on him.
He'll have bumps and bruises, that's for sure. Look at Hasse. I mean, that.
You're going to get one of those old armored outfits they wore in the 18th century.
Yeah, the Knights, that's right.
Yeah.
The armor, that's right. Look at that. That hurt, and Monahan's going to have to come out.
Here comes Chivago.
Now, I don't know whether Amos swung all the way around and hit him with the bat or the foul tip hit him because it's on his catching hand.
He does that a lot, Phil. Catchers have to stand back a little further on Armas. Otherwise, he comes around that bat and will hit him. I think he got him on the forearm. Let's see this.
Watch that.
And watch Armas come around. No, he didn't
No,
get
it
him.
was the foul tip that got him.
You can see that bat come all the way
Yeah, it
around.
came all the way around.
I had Armas out in Oakland. He really did a fine job for me.
Oh, yes, he did. He was a good center fielder.
He's not having the type of year right now he normally would have, but he keeps grinding and grinding and grinding. At the end of the season, you'll see him right up there in the numbers.
Yeah, he's only got one home run right now.
That's amazing.
Yep. All right, there are two men out. Baylor at second. No balls and a strike on Amos. Strike two.
He can be pitched up also, Phil.
Yes, he can. And if he got that little extra, and he can break one off, he's looking to pull that ball, looks for it inside.
He will chase any bad pitch right at this point right now, even sometimes in the dirt.
0-2. Well, he tried to throw the fastball by him, and he was late, but got a piece of it.
And I think Ed's pumped up a little bit also.
Oh, you got to be. With this crowd and hearing that chant. Oh, Willie fell down. Holy cow. Can anything else happen? He almost broke his bat and hit one, and Randolph slipped and fell down. RBI for Amos as Baylor scores, and now it's 5-1.
He got that ball in on
He
him.
really did. And then you see Willie slip. He should have had that easy, or would have had it easily.
Or maybe knocked it down, stopped the run.
Baylor was surprised that he was waved in because he figured it was an easy out the way the ball was hit. Look, it stops barely by the infield. 1 ball to Rich Gedman. And there was a change, but it's high, 2-0. 5 runs on 7 hits for the Red Sox. 1 run on 3 hits for the Yankees. 3-0.
And they haven't exactly wore the ball out this inning, Phil, but they've scored 2 runs.
Yep.
It's the old bottom line, isn't it?
That's what it is. You know, some of the Yankees used to win all those games. Say those lucky Yankees with those lucky hits.
Yeah.
Strike one, 3-1.
How many years can you be lucky in a row? You got to be some talent there.
Yep. Ball 4. That'll move Amos to second. And Gedman to first, in the batter now will be the shortstop,
I want to hear this name.
Quinones.
Quinones.
51.
You know, Phil, when they
Shortstop.
should have to be able to change their names when they come up here. You know, I think it's
Yeah.
unfair that we have to announce them in their language. Really, can't they make an American make it a lot easier for us?
It would make it a lot easier.
Like Pags, we're going to have to talk to him also.
Just call him Pags. That's what I call him most of the times anyway. All right, Hasse going on now as Whitson wants to talk with him.
Do we call him Smith or Jones or?
It'd be a lot easier. You know, our good buddy down in the clubhouse, Bob Fleming, who helps Nick Priori run the Yankee clubhouse.
Yes.
His wife is in the Good Samaritan Hospital in Suffern, New York. Helen Fleming, just want to say,
Oh, geez, I hope she gets well.
yep, best wishes. All right, 2 out, 2 on. And he laid off. Did he swing? No, he did not. First base umpire.
While you're at it, Phil, let's say hello to my mother. She'll be listening to this ball game out in Berkeley in the hospital.
Oh, all right. How's she coming along? I know she broke a hip.
A lot better. She's walking now a little bit.
Oh, good. Foul back upstairs and out of play. 1-1.
Canones. All right.
They come up with these Latin shortstops.
Well, they're good players.
Well, they are good
I've
players.
had some great Latin players.
Oh,
Outstanding players.
Bounce to third. Pags got it. He'll step on the bag. And that'll do it. But 2 more runs for the Red Sox on 3 base hits. No errors. And 2 men left at the end of 2.5. It's the Red Sox 5 and the Yankees 1. By the way, the Yankees want to acknowledge the Rudin family, tonight's corporate host to 2,500 kids who are in our stands from various area youth groups. And to commemorate the occasion, each guest of the Rudin family received a Yankee cap, a certificate suitable for framing, stating that he was a guest of the Rudin family. The Yankees corporate host program, established in 1984, was created to provide charitable youth groups in our area with the opportunity to attend a Yankee game, and the Yankees are pleased to express their appreciation to the Rudin family. And we would like to recognize the Rudin family tonight, one of New York City's leading builders, owners, and managers of commercial and residential buildings. All right, the Yankees now trailing by 4, and De Jesus takes a pitch low. Looking for his first hit as a Yankee. He hit the ball hard down in Baltimore. Did get a base on balls and scored a run, and that's high 2-0.
Haven't seen enough of him yet, Phil. Let's see what kind of range he's got.
No, that's right. And there's ball 3, 3-0. Now, Clemens, who is 11-0, has not walked a man in this game. He's given up 3 hits and 1 run. There's the strike, 3-1.
The automatic?
Yeah.
That used to make me mad. See?
It is 2 automatic.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if he takes another one. Oh, that would have been ball 4, but he hit it, and it's Buckner. It was hit slow enough so that when it took the bad hop, he was able to react and make the catch and touch the bag.
Ball hit something down there. Here it is again, Phil. That was a questionable strike. Oh, he made a routine grounder look like one of the top plays in baseball.
Yeah. All right, here's Ricky now. Look at this. There's where he had to go out and just sticks the foot out. Little huddle with Gedman and Clemens out there. Henderson was called out on strikes first time up.
Yeah, that was a tough pitch. Just barely nipped that corner, didn't he?
Yep.
You got to give the pitcher his due when he makes a pitch like that.
Ball 1.
Clemens getting a little high now, isn't he, with his pitches?
Yep. Well, he's had 2 long innings. The Red Sox scored 3 in 1 inning, 2 in another. He pops him up, and it might be playable. Buckner has got room and makes the catch on the warning track. 2 men are out. Now that'll bring up John Mattingly. Now, one thing that really makes you feel bad, whether you're a manager, a player, an owner, a broadcaster, or a fan, and a Yankee one at that, is when you got a tremendous crowd like this and the team does not play well. The game is not over by any means, but I mean, they've got to get something going here. Strike 1 on Mattingly. Don bounced out. Got hit on the fist with a good slider first time up.
Hey, you always like to win these games, Phil, with a big crowd, but it doesn't work out that way.
No, it gets them talking and more pepping it up. We got to go see the Yankees again tomorrow.
Well, we got a lot of innings left, Phil. Things can happen.
Oh, yes. It's only the third. 2 out. Somebody get on and somebody pop one. And foul back, a ball and 2 strikes.
And both these clubs are noted to score a lot of runs when they have their series against each other, whether it's in Boston or here in New York. I see my friend John McNamara down there standing next to Baylor.
And he popped him up in shallow right center. Amos calling, rather Evans calls for it and makes the catch. So the Yankees go down in order. And on the Pepsi scoreboard at the end of 3, it's the Red Sox 5 and the Yankees 1.
Yankee Baseball are your Greater New York Pepsi-Cola bottlers, makers of Diet Pepsi, Slice, Mountain Dew, and Pepsi Free. Canon, so advanced it's the world leader in 35mm photography. And by Burger King. This is a Burger King town. We know how burgers should be. 4th inning, Bill White here along with Billy Martin, and Marty Barrett leads off against Ed Whitson. He has a base hit in the corner. Well, these Red Sox wasting no time at all jumping on Yankee pitching, Billy Martin.
Yeah, they certainly are. First ball hitters.
So Barrett, his second base hit, he's now 2 for 3 in the ball game. He singled and scored the first run. Here it is again.
Ball's in on him, but he got the hit of the bat out there.
Red Sox leading it by a score of 5-1. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Sox. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the New York Yankees. We're in the 4th inning. Here's Ed Romero. He has walked and scored and flied to left field. He came up with the Milwaukee Brewers. He's playing because Wade Boggs has some sore ribs.
He's trying to do his job, trying to take a shot to right field, Bill, which is good baseball. He's a good fastball hitter. He wasn't Milwaukee, but has trouble with the breaking ball. Has decent power for a little guy.
And it's 1 strike on Romero. It's been all Boston so far. They scored 3 in the top of the 1st. Yankees got their run in the 2nd. Red Sox came back with 2 in the top of the 3rd. And it's a ball and a strike on Romero, who's batting at .214. There's Barrett. He's at second base with a leadoff double.
Looks like he tried to bunt him over. Almost a wild pitch.
McNamara trying to pick up some runs here. And he's going to bunt again. That's wide. 2-1.
Now here's where you like to see the catcher walk out to the pitcher and just say, look, they're trying to bunt him over. Forget about the breaking ball. Let's go the high fastball. So if he does try to bunt the ball, he'll pop it in the air.
Well, they count 2 balls and a strike on Ed Romero. And he gets it in the air. Mattingly with a fine play and foul ground. And Barrett goes back to first base.
And that was that high fastball. Hardest pitch in the world of bunt.
And Don Mattingly is covering a lot of ground. He was already on the grass. Watch this here again.
The first baseman, Bill Buckner.
That man has to go to bunting school. That was a nice play, though. Real nice play.
As soon as he got the ball, looked at second base, but Barrett had scampered back there. Now we'll get Bill Buckner, the first baseman. He's grounded to Randolph at second base, walked, stolen a base, and scored. And that's ball 1 to Buckner.
Well, I'm sure Ed will pitch careful to him with the base open at first base. Although you have Rice coming up, you still can get the double play.
Well, you look at these batting averages of the Red Sox, Billy. They're really not that great, but these guys can put some runs on the board.
They're all doing it together right now. And, you know, it's funny, Bill, when you're winning, everybody contributes. And that's what they're doing right now. Everybody's doing the job.
They're getting good pitching.
Timely hitting.
Catching the ball.
Defense has been good. Certainly not tearing the league up in stolen bases.
Center field. Henderson will not get it. It's over his head. Barrett will score easily. And Buckner will pull up at second base with a double. And the Red Sox now lead 6-1. Base hit number 9 for the Bo Sox.
Left fielder.
Ball's up but not over the plate.
That's where he likes it.
Barrett scoring easily. Buckner double. There's Piniella watching this game. Breaking ball for a strike on Jim Rice. Rice is 2 for 2. He has scored a run and driven in 2 runs. He now has 45 runs batted in on the year, and he's also hit in 9 straight ball games for the Bo Sox. 2 strikes on Jim Rice. First of 3, the Yankees and the Bo Sox. Red Sox came in 3.5 games ahead of the Yankees, and they're leading the game, this game, by a score of 6-1. Rice now batting .332.
And what the Yankees need right now, Bill, is they got to hold them in these middle innings until they can score some runs or get on that board.
Plus, they've got a tough guy to try to score runs against.
That's correct. And with a big lead like that, he might be bringing them just a little bit harder.
Still 1-2 on Rice. Big crowd here for this opening game. This crowd should approach the, 45, 50?
I'd say close to that.
Didn't give away anything either. It's good baseball, right? Good matchup.
It's nice when you see a crowd, you don't have to give away things.
Good matchup.
Yeah, these are the true fans that are coming out here right now. They love their baseball, and they love their Yankees and the Red Sox.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Rice. Back up the middle. That'll go through. Jim Rice 3 for 3. And Buckner will score. Rice now has 4 runs batted in. And the Red Sox lead 7-1. Nobody getting loose in the Yankee bullpen. Yankees are down to 6 runs as Buckner is greeted by his teammates. And the batter now for the Bo Sox is Don Baylor. He's 2 for 2. Single to center field and a looping single to left center. And he scored a run. Palirulo knocks it down and play at second base.
Nice play.
Jim Rice held up because he thought Pags had caught the ball.
Which is the proper thing to do as a base runner. You know, you don't want to get doubled off at first. He's not going anywhere. He can't go to third base.
Well, it hurts Baylor. He would have gotten a base hit, but Rice had to hold up because he thought Palirulo had come up with the ball and might have doubled him off first base. The Pags alertly went on to second base, and they just nipped Rice.
It's good base running, really.
So there are 2 outs now. Baylor at first, and Dwight Evans is the batter. He's flied to right and struck out. Out of play.
They're taking their cuts up there.
First pitch. Come out hacking, leaving the bench.
First ball hitters, fastball hitters.
Two strikes on Dwight Evans. Romero taking Boggs' place at third is hitting .216. Buckner .230. Baylor .242. Evans .236. Armas .230. And Quinones .221. But overall, as a team, they're batting in the high 260s. Evans down on strikes for the second time. Side is retired. 2 runs for the Red Sox on 3 hits. 1 man left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 4th. Boston 7, the Yankees 1. Youngsters here tonight as guests of Con Edison and the Yankees. Since the Con Edison Yankee baseball program began in 1968, more than 2.2 million youngsters have been provided free admission here to baseball games. Earl Batty, the former big leaguer, is out there answering questions.
And one of my ex-catchers.
Yep.
In Minnesota.
Posting things.
Quite a guy.
Earl coached at Bethune-Cookman College down in Daytona Beach. He coached baseball there for a couple of years.
I didn't know that.
Dave Winfield. And that's out of play. Dave's been up once and bounced to short. Yankees have just 1 run on 3 hits off the hard-throwing right-hander Roger Clemens. He has struck out just 1. And he has not walked the Yankee. And he leads 7-1. He has won 11 straight.
Very overpowering pitcher, isn't he? I mean, he just brings it up. They like to know what the gun's got on him.
And it's moving. It's not a straight fastball. It's moving around a bit.
It does.
2 strikes on Winfield. He's batting .242. A dozen home runs and 45 runs batted in. Winfield will be followed by Mike Easler and then Ken Griffey. Yankees had a chance at Clemens in the second inning. Easler led off with a single, but then Griffey bounced into a double play. Pags and Hasse hit back-to-back doubles, with Hasse getting the run batted in.
There was something we haven't seen. He pulled a string on that ball.
Strikeout number 2 for Clemens.
Which I mean is a string. They say pull the string, it's a changeup.
Had Winfield out front.
Yes, he did.
Well, there's one down. Here's Mike Easler. He singled to right field in the second inning. Easler, of course, traded for Baylor. Couple of DHs. Ball 1.
And I think both of them are doing a fine job, really.
Easler batting over 300.
The Yankees needed a left-handed hitter, and they got the left-handed hitter. Boston needed a right-handed hitter, and they helped both clubs. There's no question about it.
Easler, 6 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Baylor, 15 home runs, 44 runs batted in. Baylor's played every game for Boston. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mike Easler.
I get a kick out of when Baylor gets hit with a pitch. He never even rubs, does he?
Well, sometimes he'll turn into it. Baylor so far this year has been hit 14 times.
Isn't that something?
1-2. 2-2 now on Easler. Easler is playing in his 55th game as a Yankee. Don Baylor playing in his 62nd game as a Red Sox. And now Easler wants to change the tempo a bit here.
Well, that's what Baylor wanted all the time. He wanted to DH every day, and he loves to play.
Base hit Easler. He's 2 for 2. He's pumped up. Evans will get the ball in. Mike Easler gets his second base hit. A 1-out single to right.
Ken Griffey.
And here's Ken Griffey. Now, Dinkinger is out talking to Clemens, and
something about a sleeve.
Well, McNamara doesn't want him to bother his young pitcher. That's something you would do.
Those are little things, you know,
I
Bill.
think what he's doing, Billy, he wants him to put his gold chain under the uniform.
Probably does.
Might be that.
Well, you don't like to have the umpire intimidate your pitcher either. You want to go out there and find out what's going on so the kid doesn't get nervous out there. And I'm sure Dinkinger told him, hey, I'm just checking his metal, make sure it stays inside.
Here's Griffey, bounced into a double play in the second. And he takes the strike. Red Sox leading 7-1. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Mike Easler at first base. 1 down. Griffey batting .269. 7 home runs, 21 runs batted in. 2 of those 7 home runs coming in a pinch hitting role. That might be another 2. This time to Quinones. And a double play. 4-6-3. No runs. 1 hit, nobody left. At the end of 4, the Red Sox 7, Yankees 1. Let's pause for station identification. Tickets for all Yankee home games are on sale at the Yankee Stadium advance ticket window 7 days a week from 9 to 5. Or to order tickets by telephone, call Ticketmaster 212-307-7171. Outside New York State, call toll-free 1-800-682-8080. Or visit any tri-state Ticketmaster location, including select Record World and James Way stores. For additional Yankee ticket information, call the Yankee Ticket Office 212-293-6000. Well, Jim Cott has taken over for Billy Martin as we play the 5th here at Yankee Stadium, and the Red Sox lead 7-1 over the Yankees. And Tony Armas will lead off for the Bo Sox. They're in first place in the East by 3.5, trying to stretch it to 4.5. Armas 2 for 2, 2 singles and 2 runs batted in. And Billy Martin mentioned, Jim Cutt, that the Red Sox seem to be first ball, fastball hitters.
They're aggressive. Obviously, they've been in a good groove all year. You know, it's interesting here. The people around their club, broadcasters, front office people, they say, gosh, I can't believe we're where we are. We're all banged up. Pitchers hurt.
2 balls and a strike on Armas.
I think it points up how, you know, the little things in this game. We've seen the Yankees in the last couple of days with really not outright errors, just a couple of defensive miscues and maybe not really as alert.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Armas.
On the other hand, you see the Red Sox, you know, the way they go to the plate and the way they're in the field, they're a hot ball club right now. And Yankees are in a position where you just say, let's stop the bleeding.
Armas, Gedman, and Quinones here for the Red Sox in the 5th inning. Bottom third of the batting order. And that'll be a base hit right center. Extra bases for Tony Armas. Might be 3. He's going to try for 3. And he makes it into third base with a triple. He's now 3 for 3. Armas has the Red Sox 11th hit in this ball game. We're just in the 5th inning.
Of course, right now, Bill, as you know from being involved in these kind of games, when you're on the top end like the Red Sox, hitters go to the plate free and easy, and they're just swinging that bat a lot more relaxed than if this were a 1-1 ball game. Not that the Red Sox aren't good hitters, but obviously they're having fun right now. The Yankees aren't, but they are.
There's the replay again on the triple.
This game reminds me of when I was a kid, and Rocky Marciano was fighting Joe Walcott. Remember Jersey Joe Walcott? And boy, big build-up for that fight, and couldn't wait for it to come onto the radio, and sat down, got nice and comfortable, and Marciano knocked him out in about 55 seconds. You know,
that was a second fight then, huh?
Yes, but the fans tonight have come, of course, expecting a suspense-filled game, tight ball game.
Rich Gedman takes a strike.
Air went out of their balloon rather quickly.
Well, there are a lot of Boston fans here also. A lot of Boston fans here in this ballpark, coming over from Connecticut, even from Massachusetts. Count 1 ball, 1 strike on Gedman. He has a 7-game hitting streak on the line. He's grounded to short, and he's walked. Yankees keep their infield back. And that will not score a run. Mattingly will tag Gedman, and Armas decides to stay at third base. There's 1 down.
These are the kind of games, if you're on the Yankee bench right now, I mean, you certainly don't give up hope that you can come back from a 7-1 deficit, even though it's Roger Clemens out there. But somehow or other, you got to find a little humor and relax and be able to stay loose on the bench. I remember a game of the Phillies where the Cubs had the Phillies beat 13-1 in the 6th inning. Came back and beat them 15-13. And really on the bench in the 5th and 6th inning, guys were kidding about, well, wouldn't this be a nice game to win? And let's see if we can pinch hit so-and-so. Maybe he'll get a bloop here or pad his average. Just try to find some humor in it.
Count on Quinones is 0-2.
And loosened up, and a hit here and a hit there and an error, and they're back in the ball game. And Yankees are in that position right now.
You're going to need a lot of hits and a lot of errors, though.
And they're going to have to dent Mr. Clemens.
Now the infield's in. Pitch is high, 1-2 on Quinones. Red Sox lead 7-1. 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the New York Yankees. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Quinones. Armas at third. Ball almost got away from Hasse. Atlanta leading Cincinnati 1-0. That game in the 5th inning. In the American League, the Tigers are leading Baltimore 1-0. That game also in the 5th down in Baltimore. 3-2 on Quinones.
When the Red Sox are doing this without Boggs, that's got to make them feel pretty good.
Wade Boggs leading the league in hitting. That'll get a run in, and it'll be a base hit. And that might be another triple. And Quinones has tripled. And the Red Sox now lead 8-1. Well, sometimes when a range it pours, base hit number 12 for the Red Sox.
Well, when you're a competitive, I would call him a high-strung pitcher like Ed Whitson is, there you get a look at the fastball up in the strike zone. When you get in situations like this and you have Whitson's kind of temperament, which is very competitive, he can get the crowd behind him and rise to the occasion. But in this situation, when you begin to get hit, you actually try to throw too hard, and the ball straightens out, and you see the results with what the Red Sox are doing.
Infield in for Marty Barrett, and that's a ball.
The hardest things in the world for a pitcher in a game like this is to tell yourself, I still got to change speeds and pitch to the hitters just like it's a 1-1 ball game.
Well, it's going to be Whitson because nobody is warming up behind him. Valerulo will hold the runner at third, and there are 2 outs. So Barrett bounces out 5-3. Now the Yankee infield will go back, and Ed Romero will bat.
Well, there can be some value in that. As you mentioned, nobody's warming up in the Yankee bullpen, but we all know the Yankee pitching staff, if we could use one word to summarize it this year, it's been disorganized, injury-riddled and disorganized, and Whitson might find some value in an outing like this.
That's foul off third base. Cardinals leading Pittsburgh 4-1 in the 5th. Mets didn't score in the top of the 1st. Montreal batting. A final. Let's see, the White Sox won, so Gene Michael picking up his 2nd win as the skipper. The Cubs won. Gene Michael picking up his 2nd win as a skipper of the Chicago Cubs. Winfield, side retired, but another run, 2 hits, a man left. Bottom of the 5th coming up. The Red Sox 8, the Yankees 1.
June 28th is Yankee Mitt Day. All youngsters 14 and under will receive a Yankee mitt, compliments of New York City bus service. Last year, the Yankees set a new regular season attendance record on Mitt Day. So don't forget Saturday, June 28th. So far tonight, this is a game the Yankees would like to forget. They're down 8-1 halfway through the ball game against the best pitcher in the American League, Roger Clemens.
Best pitcher in baseball now.
11-0 with a .226.
All right, now this youngster's the best pitcher in baseball, record-wise, as we look at Pags, who doubled and scored the Yankee run in the 2nd inning. A bit high, ball 1.
Talked to Joe Sambito before the ball game. They pitched in Houston for several years, has incidentally made a nice comeback just to get back on the active list, similar to Don Ossie with the Baltimore Orioles.
1-1.
Had some very extensive arm surgery, long rehab program. Well, he played with Nolan Ryan, and you never like to make comparisons about pitchers, but he brought up an interesting point about their temperament, Clemens and Ryan.
Out of play, 1-2.
And he said what's impressive about this young pitcher is not just the fact that he's 11-0, but he seems to be handling his success, with ease. He's not caught up in all the hype, and he said he reminds him a lot of Ryan with that kind of down-home Texas low-key attitude.
Bounced out in front of the plate. Clemens is there. 1 away.
Which, of course, tonight was not a fair judge, but going into tonight's ball game, I was thinking about Clemens' brief career, and this probably is as pressure-packed a game as he's ever pitched in his career going into it. And, of course, the Red Sox blew it open early, so it takes a lot of heat off from him, but probably the first time he's really been trying to pitch for a first-place ball club this time of the year.
Ron Hasse out of play. Reminds me a little bit of Ray Cope. And Cope, a Texan. Of course, this kid was born in Dayton, Ohio. Went to the University of Texas, now lives in Texas. But Cope had a good fastball, a good slider, pretty good curveball. And he had some good years for the Red Sox after he bounced around the league. Started with the Phillies. I think he pitched with the Cubs a bit. Ended up with the Boston Red Sox. Ray Cope. Cope not as tall as Clemens.
Probably relied on the slider a little more than Clemens did, too, right? Not quite the power pitcher.
Right. good control, but he had a good fastball. 1-2 on Hesse. Hesse doubled in the Yankee run in the second.
I remember back in 1983 when I saw Ralph Houck. He was managing the Red Sox. He said, "This kid's the best pitching prospect I've ever seen." That's a pretty bold statement.
Bouncer to second base, Barrett. And they're 2 outs. The other thing about this kid, Jim Cott, is he's had a couple of years of arm trouble, and he's still pitching well. He's come back from arm trouble. We had him last year. We saw him in a ball game. He came out for about 4 or 5 innings, throwing the ball 90-95. All of a sudden, he lost it. And, of course, that's when he hurt his arm last year.
He had, I think, a strained muscle in the forearm as well as a little shoulder problem, but he's obviously healthy this year.
1 ball, no strikes on Willie Randolph. We're in the 5th inning, and the Bo Sox lead 8-1. 1-1 on Randolph. He's at .289 with 22 runs batted in. Now Detroit and Baltimore tied 1-1 in the 6th inning. On the inside corner, 1-2 on Randolph.
He's got the ability. You know, he's not just a thrower. As you said, he's the best pitcher in the major leagues right now. He has the ability to move that fastball in and out. He's got excellent control.
Out of play down the right side. Still a ball and 2 strikes on Randolph.
And when you talk about control in the big leagues, you don't necessarily mean just base on balls. Control is being able, as we speak of so often, to have command of both sides of the plate. Clemens appears to have it.
Two and 2 on Randolph.
See him keep hitching that shirt up. I'm surprised on a night like tonight he's wearing that heavy sweatshirt. He's got to be about 10 pounds heavier with that on.
There's a score. Red Sox 8, Yankees 1. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Just missed. In 1983, this kid was pitching for the University of Texas.
Pitched him to the national title.
Yep. Randolph thought he had walked. He's called out on strikes. Sides retired. 3rd strikeout for Roger Clemens. 3 up, 3 down. We played 5. The Red Sox 8. The Yankees 1.
Way through five innings complete, and the Red Sox lead at 8-1. It's been all the Red Sox hitters and Roger Clemens. Tough night so far for the Yankees, and to lead it off for the Sox in the top of the 6th, Billy Buckner. He's got a walk and a double on the night already, Bill.
All right, Jim. Buckner, in addition to the walk and a double, scored 2 runs, stolen a base, driven in a run. He's also bounced to second. An active night for Bill Buckner, and he takes a ball from Ed Whitson. Ron Guidry started the game for the Yankees. He lasted 2 1/3. Actually, just 2 innings he lasted. Whitson came on in the 3rd. 1-1 on Buckner.
And we got a few flares from time to time being tossed out onto the field. That's why we are experiencing the occasional delays.
One ball, 1 strike on Buckner. He's batting .232, 6 home runs, 33 runs batted in. All right, back to Whitson. 1 down.
That might be a helper for Ed Whitson right there. We talked about the fact that even though right now it's a blowout ball game, you know, a pitcher can get some value out of this. That was one of the few off-speed pitches that Whitson's thrown. He got Buckner on a easy hopper to the mound, and you know, maybe you get a few hitters out with that. It puts some fresh ideas into your mind for the next time you go to the mound. get you in the habit of using all of your pitches a little bit more.
Jim Rice is 3 for 3 and 4 runs batted in, and he is still 3 for 3. Thought he might have been 4 for 4, but that ball hooked foul down the left side. Rice singled in 2 runs in the first inning, singled in another run in the third, and singled in his 4th run of the ball game in the 4th inning. And he also has now hit in 9 straight games. Alirulo at third base. He's got plenty of time. 2 outs. I think they're getting a little tired now.
Well, I would think so. They've got 12 hits. Of course, this guy right here, he's not going to swing like that all day. You ought to see him hit a golf ball. I mean, I've seen him in long drive contests. Of course, the stories are all around the country about the way he can hit a golf. I've seen him hit a 1-iron 295 yards in person. Now, I mean, you hear a lot of stories. People say, I saw so-and-so hit a drive, but I was there at a long drive contest to see it. Everybody else was hitting a driver. He has got some strength. So is this guy.
Don Baylor, 2 for 3, both his base hit singles. 2 out, nobody on in the 6th. And that's going to be a base hit. Oh, Don Baylor flared to right field.
He might be laughing a little bit about that one.
Baylor now 3 for 4 in the game.
Right fielder, Dwight Evans.
He's jawing with Mattingly a little bit. I think all the Red Sox personnel also can't say enough about what the job this guy has done. Not only the numbers he's put on the board, but the influence he has in that ball. It points up how important chemistry and attitude is to a ball club, and that man certainly has supplied it for the Red Sox.
Here's Dwight Evans, who's flied to right field and struck out twice. He's 0 for 3 against Yankee pitching. Romero does not have a base hit, but he's been on, walked, and scored. Evans does not have a base hit. Gedman does not have a base hit. The only 3 Red Sox batters who have not gotten base hits off Yankee pitching tonight: Romero, Evans, and Gedman. Popped up, shallow right center. Henderson chases Randolph off. Side is retired. No runs, a base hit, and a man left. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Red Sox lead the Yankees 8-1.
So far for the Red Sox, 5.5 innings, they hold an 8-1 lead. 3 runs off Ron Guidry in the first inning, then they chased him with a 2-run third. Ed Whitson has come on, and the Red Sox have added 3 more. Roger Clemens, as we've talked about, the best pitcher in baseball with a perfect 11-0 record, 12 starts. He's averaged 8 1/3 innings per start. That's got to be pretty comforting for a manager, especially if you're struggling with your bullpen. Send the guy out there you know is going to pretty well get you into the 9th inning every start.
Who's your best starters, pitcher?
Record-wise?
Yeah.
I think 7-0, 8-0, and 75.
DeJesus takes the strike.
Of course, I had a guy named Gossage behind me in the bullpen.
That was at Chicago with the White
Right.
Sox. You also
Forster
had
was-
Terry Forster.
yeah.
It's going to 2 big guys, left-hander and a right-hander. Popped up right field, coming on Evans. DeJesus is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Red Sox have an 8-1 lead. Well, in 1912, Rube Marquardt of the Giants went 19-0.
It's unbelievable.
Star of the season. Elroy Face,
Ricky Henderson.
17-0 with the Pirates in 59.
Did you see some of that?
Yeah, I was responsible for some of that. But, he had that fork ball.
One they now call the split-finger fastball.
Dave McNally in 1969, 15-0 for Baltimore.
When Billy was managing Minnesota that year, we broke McNally's string.
Henderson takes a ball. He broke it at 15.
Rich Reese, who was a left-hand hitter, came up and hit a grand slam home run. Beat him, I think, 4-3.
Brooks Lawrence 13-0 for the Cincinnati Reds in 1956. Ron Guidry 13-0 for the Yankees in 1978. This year the Yankees beat the Red Sox in that dramatic extra ball game up at Fenway Park. 1 ball, 1 strike on Henderson, who's 0 for 2. 1-2. That's a game that if you play long enough, I think most games sort of run together. But that game in Boston, I think everybody, or probably about 3 million people who saw it in person at Fenway Park.
Yeah.
And I think everybody will always remember that game. Bucky Dent's home run. Lou Pinella's playing right field, looking up into the sun. Goose Gossage getting Yastrzemski to pop up for the final out.
I think you're right. I wasn't involved with either team at the time, but the game certainly stands out in my mind.
Well, I don't remember too much about baseball because it all, tends to go together. But I remember the Maxfield catching the final out, the 64 series, and I remember Gossage getting Yastrzemski for the final out. Nettles a foul ball off third base in 1978. And that's it.
That's all you
remember. A couple of fights. I remember a couple of fights. A couple of pretty good fights between these two clubs. Evans has room in right, but it's caught by Dwight Evans. Backpedaling all the way. 2 down.
Well, that didn't rob Ricky of a home run, but we have seen some outfielders like Winfield and Pasqua, Griffey a couple times. Now Evans. You've seen some guys make some outstanding catches in the outfield this year.
Oh, with 2 outs, nobody on base, we'll get Don Mattingly batting against Roger Clemens. Mattingly's 0 for 2. Yankees have just 4 base hits off the right-hander. Mattingly now at 319, a dozen home runs, 52 runs batted in.
I think it's amazing how you can think back, and as you mentioned, things tend to run together, but there are really a lot of things that maybe pitchers are different. I can think back and remember a lot of specific pitches that happen, home runs.
Well, I think if I had thrown up a few home runs, I'd remember them. That's low. It's 2 balls, no strikes on Mattingly.
I don't have time to tell you the rest of this inning because there's 2 out, but great story with Robin Roberts in a game I hooked up with him at the beginning of my career and the end of his. Test your memory, but
well, he threw up a lot of home runs.
Yes, he did.
One hopper off Buckner. And dropped by Clemens. You better tell that story while you got time.
Well, I hooked up with Robin Roberts in 1962, and he was with the Orioles. Ended up beating him 3-1 in the 13th inning. 1-1 tie, man on first. He thought I was bunting. Threw me a high fastball, and I hit it over Jackie Brandt's head. Now, 14 years later, we're at a press banquet in Philadelphia because I got traded to the Phillies. Robbie walks in, sits right next to me, and he looks at me and said, I should have thrown you a slider. I didn't know you could hit for a pitcher. And that's 14 years later since I'd seen it.
He remembered it.
He remembered that exact pitch. That
he used to throw about 40 a game, but he was still a winning pitcher. Had a not too good a ball club to pitch for, and he's in the Hall of Fame, Robin Roberts.
He won 20, I think 7 years in a row. One year he won 28. Like you said, he gave up a lot of home runs, but the majority of them were solo, right?
Yep. Nobody on. They'll give the pitcher an error on that throw as he dropped the throw from Buckner. And here's Winfield. Strike 1 on Winfield. Winfield's 0 for 2. Grounded to short and struck out. Clemens has struck out 3 Yankees. He's been around the plate. He hasn't walked anybody, and he leads 8-1.
It's about the only thing he's done wrong all night, probably all year right there, is drop that throw.
His ERA 2.26. And this is his 13th start. Out of play. 2 strikes on Dave Winfield.
You're talking about remembering before the game, mentioned Joe Sambito and also Bob Stanley. You know, when the guys come to Yankee Stadium, the players in the other team love to talk about their first experience here. Stanley grew up in this area. Sambito talks about coming out when he was a kid and watching the old Yankee teams. And even for the visiting players, there's an awful lot of tradition and history and nostalgia when they come back to this stadium.
Might be the best known stadium in the country. Do you think of any other?
No, I can't. Of course, I still, the old stadium, when you came into the old one, it almost reminded me of the first and one of the few times I walked into Augusta National golf course. There's almost a certain reverence to it. It's nicer now. It's remodeled, but I don't think it has the character that it did when it was the old stadium.
Out of play. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes on Dave Winfield.
Of course, nothing does. You know, we just came from Baltimore. You saw what a nice job they've done with their Inner Harbor area, but we see that a lot around the country. The things reach a certain point and they get remodeled, but they never really have the character that they did, in my mind anyway, that when they're original.
1-2 on Winfield. 2 outs. Mattingly at first. 6th inning. Red Sox lead 8-1. Barrett. Sides retired. Popped to second. No runs, no hits, and there and a man left on base. Score at the end of 6. Red Sox 8, Yankees 1. Let's pause for a station identification.
July 3rd extravaganza is coming. The Yankees host the Detroit Tigers in a 6 p.m. game. And following the game, Thornapple Valley Hot Dogs is presenting the famous Grucci family fireworks display and a special music concert. That'll feature legendary artists Jerry Lee Lewis and Fats Domino, both Hall of Famers. And the ticket to the game will admit you to the stadium for the entire triple header, the ball game, the fireworks, and the concert. So be a part of this Independence Eve extravaganza right here at Yankee Stadium. Good seats are available. 8-1 Red Sox, the end of 6. Whitson on in relief of Guidry. Clemens all the way for the Red Sox. Tony Armas, he's had a big night. 2 singles and a triple, a couple of RBIs. And Ivan De Jesus with a leaping grab right there keeps Armas from going 4 for 4, reminiscent of the way this guy used to leap and grab him. The scooter. Isn't that the way you
I couldn't get that high, Jim. What? Who cost? You lost $1 to Bill White. Why? I was here for the first pitch. Hey, look.
You were there for that pitch, too. Look at that.
Is that a classy-looking outfit? Look at the cameraman, Frank LaFrosia. Ground ball to Willie, and he throws him out. So 2 quick outs.
You remember Ron Bloomberg, Scooter?
Yes.
First DH.
Yes.
Just down in Atlanta, Georgia. Nice article in the paper. You know what he's doing right now in his spare time?
No.
He's playing softball for Gulf States Mortgage Company, modified fast pitch team. Says he enjoys the game, meets a lot of new people living down there in Atlanta, Georgia. Ron Bloomberg, first
he
designated hitter in the history of the...
I remember. I think it was against the Red Sox that he made his debut as a designated hitter. But he loved the game so much, but his problem was like Pete Reza. He ran into walls, no matter where the wall was.
He had some talent, didn't he? Big, strong, could run.
He could hit and run. Off the glove of Pags, he almost came up with another gem as Quinones.
Second baseman, Ronnie Barrett.
Jeffrey Lyons is easy to say. Just lined a single to left field. That's 9 hits off of Whitson, 5 off Guidry. Each has been charged for the... That is 14, Jimmy Huddy, yes.
I think Lou Piniella will be very happy he's got Joe Niekro going tomorrow, Scooter. These guys are geared for that hard stuff. And just about that time, you'd want a pitcher that throws a little different variety at him. Either what the modern term would be a junk baller, or in Niekro's case, a knuckleballer. At least he's got a much better chance to destroy their timing than the fastball pitchers.
All right, time is called, and we got another smoke bomb. That's 3. Where are they throwing it from? It's got to be coming from the same spot.
Well, it's too bad. We had an experience like that. I think it was in back in Detroit. And, you know, I think baseball fans all around the country are enthusiastic fans, but it's the actions of just a few that sometimes give a whole city a bad reputation.
What scares me about them is, how do you know it's not one of those delayed bombs?
Well, you don't?
No, you don't. What? 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. The run is going, and it's fouled in the mezzanine.
Wow. It's kind of
Well,
surprising
it's
baseball
very
there, huh, with an
surprising.
8-1 lead. Now, what if you were hitting right now and your team was leading 8-1?
I think I'd sit down.
Next pitch be about chin high, right?
I'd start backing up as the pitcher was warming up. I don't know whether he was doing it on his own. You wouldn't think McNamara would put it on. Barrett has singled, doubled, and bounced to third twice. And lines went to right field, but right at Winfield. He's got it. No runs, a hit, no errors, a man left. End of 6.5. Red Sox 8 and the Yankees 1.
Oh, we'll be with you again tomorrow night. As you see right there, 7:30, 11 alive. The Yankees and the Red Sox. It'll be veteran Joe Niekro, record of 7-3, and for the Red Sox, newcomer Rob Woodward, who's got a record of 1-2. Of course, he's starting because Al Nipper and Bruce Hurst, two of the regular Boston starters, are on the disabled list. We've got a defensive replacement for the Red Sox here in the 7th inning. Steve Lyons has gone into play center field in place of Tony Armas. There's a look at Steve Lyons. So despite the fact, Scooter, that the Red Sox are missing two of their key pitchers, keep rolling right along.
Yeah, you know, everybody said, oh, gee, they're missing two. But how about the Yankees, all the injuries they've had?
Oh, I know. I know.
And the thing is that I thought, I said, oh, I didn't mind. I mean, I don't want to see anybody out, but when I heard Boggs wasn't going to play, I figured the Yankees had a big advantage with Boggs not playing. And here, all of a sudden, they got their hitting shoes on. They haven't been hitting or hitting home runs all year, getting by in their pitching and defense as Isla bounces out. And Clemens holds on to it that time. Mike had 2 singles, so he's 2 for 3 now. And Clemens pitching kind of an unusual ball game after all we've read about him with all those strikeouts. Excellent control, but look at that. Now, who do I look like? Walter Winchell or Al Pacino or
Spencer Tracy.
Oh. And again, look. Buckley's having trouble standing up. He's been sliding around the infield all night, but making the plays.
Clemens will think he's back in spring training again. He's had a chance to make this play 4 times tonight. He's made it 3 out of 4. That's the first day the pitchers get to spring training. That's the play they work on right there for about 2 solid days. You mentioned the unusual game. He had made a comment that he thought with the outstanding fastball hitters that the Yankees have that he may have to throw more breaking balls. And, you know, he got Winfield on a changeup last inning. So the kid is not just a thrower. He's a pitcher.
He certainly is. The pitch he struck Henderson out first inning, I said, uh-oh, this guy's got more than a fastball. Oh, look at Cott. Did you see him?
Hey, when you've
82 feet away, and he stuck that left arm out.
When you've had to duck as many line drives as I have, you'd flinch too when it started coming back this way.
1 strike on Pagliarulo. Pags doubled and scored the Yankees' only run back in the 2nd inning. And whoa, I hope that didn't hit anybody. Oh, man. That was hit so hard, nobody had time to duck.
Amazing, isn't it, that there aren't more injuries in the stands?
It is, because people talking, enjoying the ball game, and somebody had hit a foul ball and just missed by inches. There he took something off, had Pags way out in front. And Griffey came up with that one. 0-2 the count. Not too happy, the coaching staff for the Yankees.
It's only 1 game.
Yep. Thank goodness. They don't go by total runs or hits or...
That's why it's so important in this game to just keep an even keel for 162 games. You're going to have your share of peaks and valleys. Turn the page. Go on to the next one.
Boy, he jammed him, but luckily it was foul.
Not that this one's over. You never give up hope if you're a Yankee player, but you got to be realistic and understand you're facing the only pitcher in baseball with double figure wins and a perfect record. Nepper's got 10 also, but he's lost 4, I think. But 11-0, you don't like your chances, so make the best of it. If you're up there in the batter's box, work on something. If you're Whitson, work on something. Keep up with your work habits.
High fly, straightaway center. And Lyons makes the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning. He's had a lot of easy innings at the end of 7. It's the Red Sox 8 and the Yankees 1.
All right, back at the stadium here at the end of 7. Red Sox leading at 8-1. And a couple of changes for the Yankees. Gary Renicke's going into center field. Give Ricky Henderson a little rest. Red Sox changed center fielders in the previous half inning when they sent Steve Lyons in. It's been all Roger Clemens and the Red Sox. There's a look at Renicke. The Yankees have 4 hits off Clemens. They bunched 3 of those in the second inning, and when Hasse doubled down the left field line, ground rule double to score Pagliarulo after he had doubled. Easler had led off that inning with a single, but erased on a double play by Griffey. So Clemens has been in complete control, and Ed Whitson now into his 5th inning of work has worked very effectively the last 2. Scooter.
All right, Ed Romero has walked and scored. Fly to left, popped to first, fly to right. And strike 1 from Ed Whitson. There's a base hit ripped to right field. Base hit number 15.
Boggs is sitting on the bench saying, man, what am I missing? I got to sit out this ball game. My teammates got 15 hits. Not too often the Red Sox have 15 hits, and Wade Boggs doesn't have any of them.
Bill Buckner is 1 for 3. Bounced to second, walked, doubled, and hit back to the box. Stole his first base of the year. He's got a bad leg or something. It looks like he's running with one leg and dragging the other.
He was a top-notch player, still is, but he was an outstanding all-around player with the Dodgers till he broke that leg. And has been hobbled by it ever since, but he's still a quality hitter, batting champion.
Like Tommy Davis when he broke his ankle. He could still hit, but at great speed that they had. He was a good base runner, too, I remember when he broke in, Buckner.
And unfortunately, one guy that broke his ankle like that but could never return to form was the Texas manager Bobby Valentine.
Yeah, that was a shame. But look what he's doing now with Texas. Foul and out of play.
Yeah, he's making some believers of people down there. He's got all those young, hard-throwing pitchers, and just like with we talked about Baylor's influence on the Red Sox, chemistry, attitude. Hard to say which comes first, winning or the chemistry, but it's important on a
you got to have it. Oh, absolutely.
Any level, really, but much more on the major league level because the talent is so even up here.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out.
You hesitated at that like you didn't agree with me that the talent was all even.
Well, because it's not all even. Oh, he bounces it. Pags got it. They got 2 this time. Randolph. They get the double play. It was not a good throw to Randolph, but he got rid of it in a hurry. I can see the top teams being even, Jim. When I say the top teams, I mean the top 3 in each division. There's that play.
Yeah, I don't see Buckner swing at pitch up and out of the strike zone that often. Chases a lot of low ones. But, well, obviously there is some difference, but I really think that the reason you see teams go from top to bottom, look what Milwaukee. They won it in '82. All of a sudden they're down at the bottom. And Toronto and Detroit.
That seems to happen every year. The team that wins, that complacency sets in. They say it doesn't. They try to say it doesn't.
Well, that's
but everybody, you have a good year, everybody gets a raise, right?
Yep.
Everybody gets a lot of money. They go to a lot of banquets that winter, because I had it happen to me. Everybody wants you for a banquet, and before you know it, you're busy every day and every night.
I missed that circuit.
You're lucky.
I never got asked to go on those banquets.
No? That's to be out of play down the right field line for Jim Rice, who's 3 for 4.
Well, you say complacency sets in. That's a point I'm making there. His attitude is important.
Oh, yes. No, I agree with you. I'm saying...
You do?
I agreed that attitude, but I said the talent wasn't equal, which is what you said. Look out. Boy, they're hitting some wicked fouls. Did that hit that kid?
Wow, that's what's dangerous. A fan jumped up and then backed out of the way at the last minute, and the person behind him will end up getting hit.
I don't know whether it hit that lady in the head or not, or he hit her with the arm. Well, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
We're going to have mitt day in a couple of weeks, and then everybody will have their own. They'll be able to catch those foul balls.
Right. Ed Aragone's got midday coming up. 3-2.
When I say the talent's even, I really think nowadays you can replace maybe 1 or 2 players in the starting lineup and make yourself a contending ball club real quick. And years ago, I don't think you could do that.
Uh-oh, deep to center. There might not be enough room in this ballpark to hold that one, and there is. Holy cow. The deepest part of the park. They get Jim Rice. No runs are hit, no errors, no.
Give me a light. Ooh, Bud Light. Great game.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Pitcher of light.
Bud Light. So if you want the lips-filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
Fuel-injected Dodge Lancers come with optional turbochargers, and you can't expect that kind of power to stay put.
It's the boys' night out, and they're cruising around. The boys' night out, and they're doing the town. They're revving up, heading out, looking for fun.
Get real American values with up to $1,000 back on most 86 American-made Dodge cars.
Reggie, I remember him saying that Billy Martin was a very complex guy, that you couldn't tell what kind of a mood he was going to be in. That's why you couldn't get close to him. Well, but Reggie never knew what kind of mood he was going to be in. Go into the batting cage one day, wouldn't talk to you. Other days he would talk to you, big smile and so forth. And of course, he had his ego problems. The contract with the Yankees that covered reincarnation.
Sherry Gerard, very independent sports. After the Yankees, only on Channel 11.
Participating advertisers in New York Yankee baseball are your local Dodge Boys. Dodge Boys have more fun because Dodge Boys sell more fun. Bud Light, the light beer with a first name and taste. Everything else is just a light. Eastern Airlines, official airline of the New York Yankees. We earn our wings every day. Your Toyota dealer in the Toyota Celica. Performance and style. Who could ask for anything more? And by the New York Yankees. Move to the bottom of the 8th. Red Sox still holding that 8-1 lead. Roger Clemens in command. And he'll face Hasse to lead off the 8th. Scooter?
All right, Hasse has doubled in the only Yankee run back in the 2nd inning after Pags had doubled with 2 out. Hasse double to drive him in. Then he bounced to second. And it's ball 1 to Hasse. Tell you how in control his Clemens is. This is only the 3rd time Hasse's coming to bat in the ball game. And all the Red Sox have been up at least 4 and some of them 5. Deep to left, but Rice is there and makes the catch.
Well, granted, he's got a lot more natural stuff going for him than a lot of pitchers in the American League. But what has been pleasant to watch from a pitching standpoint is how he goes about his business. No nonsense, aggressive, right after the hitter. Here it is. Of course, you got a 90-plus mile-an-hour fastball. That's easy to do, but it's even more important for the guys that don't have that to pitch like that, to pitch aggressively, because you got to get ahead. It's more important to get ahead when you have less stuff than Roger Clemens. So he has been a joy to watch if you
if you're a Red Sox fan.
No, if you appreciate good pitching.
Now that I don't look at it the same way.
I know you don't.
I know how you appreciate it. 2 men are out as Randolph bounces out. 3rd to 1st.
I would have appreciated watching Ron Guidry pitch like that tonight. You know, Gator's been in a little bit of a
if he pitched like that.
Yeah, I remember, you know, the days that he had those.
Oh, yes.
great years. I mean, if you appreciate pitching, you've got to appreciate what Roger Clemens is doing tonight, whether you're a Yankee fan or a Red Sox fan.
Absolutely. Just
obviously disappointing because a lot of people came here tonight expecting a close game full of suspense and obviously pulling for the Yankees, but the verdict was settled rather early.
Dan Pasqua is going to bat for De Jesus. Two men are out. Strike one. Pasqua batting .327, 4 homers, 10 runs batted in. He had a tough ball that everybody said he misjudged that sinking line drive in Baltimore. Strike two. I didn't even see that pitch. I heard it, but
I heard Bill White say earlier in the ball game, that's a good statement, it sounded like a strike.
Yeah, now I could see him earlier, but he looks like he's just as fast right now. That's high.
That one before that, the guys in the dugout call that cheese at the knees.
Oh, yeah?
He's got a good fastball. They say he's got that good cheese.
Never heard that.
Never? Yeah, well, when you played, see if it was Blazer?
Yeah.
High hard one.
High hard one, that's all.
Smoke.
Yes, smoke.
Jug handle for curve.
No, we didn't use that. Back in our days, it was a drop or an out curve. Strike three. He's called out on strikes. Man, what a night Clemens is having. At the end of 8, it's the Red Sox 8, the Yankees 1, and that's on the Dodge scoreboard.
Chaos, I think, is probably the one word that describes Bob. And it's not his fault. It's the nature of weather forecasting. He did a year-ender on weather, showing, best clouds of the year. It just didn't have the zing that it needed.
Jerry Gerard, very independent sports. After the Yankees, only on Channel 11.
His map has only 47 states, so he has to fake his way through certain areas of the country.
Call any Air Express company and ask if they'll guarantee to give the exact status of your package within 30 minutes or your money back.
Yeah, well, the thing is...
Call someone else and ask if they'll guarantee to deliver your package on time or your money back.
Well, gee,
Then call Federal Express and ask us the same questions.
Absolutely, positively, or your money back, sir.
Great days are coming to Yankee Stadium.
Hey, you, Getty, when do you hit?
Look, lady, I'm the stopper. Call me Rags.
Rags? What kind of mumbo-jumbo is that?
Stopper is the name they give the guy that saves the game. Rags is my nickname.
Stopper? You blow one more game and you'll be wearing your nickname.
New York Bus Service Yankee Midday is June 28th. All fans 14 and under receive a Yankee Mid, compliments of New York Bus Service.
And there's a look at Dale Berra entering the ball game to play short for the Yankees after Dan Pasqua pinch hit for Ivan De Jesus. Of course, Ricky Henderson was replaced by Gary Renicky the inning before, so Lou Piniella giving Ricky a little bit of a rest here with his ball club behind 8-1. 8-15-1 for the Red Sox, 1-4-0 for the Yankees. Here's Whitson against Baylor.
And Baylor hits the first pitch right to Renicky. Whoa, almost misjudged it. Had to catch it down around the knees. So Baylor ends the night 3 for 5.
Dwight Evans.
Not used to playing out there. Ball looked a little different to him. And you made a good point about Dan Pasqua when he came to the plate. It was clear when you watched that ball that he misjudged it.
Yes.
However, one of the reasons he misjudged it is that, and we saw Ken Griffey earlier in the ball game get a little bit of a late jump. Very difficult to pick up the ball in Baltimore in day games.
It really is. They play so few of them there. Dwight Evans 0 for 4 in the night.
I'm not sure, Scooter, if it was in Dodger Stadium or Memorial Stadium, but it seems to me it was Memorial Stadium where Willie Davis had a little trouble in the '66 World Series.
Yep.
Lost 2 or 3 balls in the sun. And he was an outstanding defensive outfielder, as Dan Pasqua is, but didn't happen for him yesterday in Baltimore. There's a look at tonight's attendance. Good crowd.
Yep. 45,576. That's out of play over the Yankee dugout back into the crowd.
I think maybe better than they hoped for on a Monday night, because it was kind of hot, humid, threat of rain, and Monday, even though it is the Red Sox, anything over 35 is outstanding.
Oh, what a play by Willie. And he throws him out. So Randolph, who's had kind of a rough night tonight out in the field, comes up with a gem there.
Well, it's always good to see, when your team is getting beat 8-1, you're sitting there on the bench as Lou Piniella applauded that play, and you're sitting there and you see your co-captain make a play like that. That's gives you an idea of the kind of concentration and effort that man puts forth.
All right, here is. That's Lyons.
He went in for Armas a couple innings ago.
Right.
Good-looking young player.
I got him in center field, but I didn't put him down in the batting order. I figured he wouldn't get to bat. Strike, 1-1. 15 hits for the Red Sox. And poor Dwight Evans is 0 for 5. And Gedman is 0 for 3. They're the only two in the starting lineup without a base hit, at least one. 2 balls and a strike on Lyons with 2 out, and the Red Sox leading 8-1. Check swing foul.
This kid's a valuable player for him with the 24-man roster. He can play a number of positions. Third base, plays all around the outfield, good speed. Can use him to pinch run if they have to.
Oh, I don't blame Whitson and Hasse for moaning about that one. It's 3-2.
I keep telling you, Scooter, the strike zone has shrunk.
You told me that, and pretty soon I'm going to believe it. Some of them would look like perfect strikes. Fouled that one off his foot.
Red Sox got another weapon with his 24-man deal. They got a pitcher named Tim Lawler. Remember Tim?
Yes.
When he came up with the Yankees? He was a All-American designated hitter at the University of Arkansas. So
he was a good hitter. I know.
McNamara, in fact, he takes batting practice with the extra men every day.
Ball 4. I'll tell you one thing that's kept this game from being a long game with all the runs scored is very few walks in it.
Right.
Clemens has not walked anybody. And Guidry walked 2, and now Whitson has just walked his second man. The change is high to Gedman.
Yeah, Whitson was very effective in the National League when he was with the Padres with that palm ball. And I noticed tonight now he's begun to throw a few more of them here in this situation.
A little, but I don't think he's gotten it over yet. 1-1. Here it is. Oh, that Lou D'Amelio comes right up. Davis made 3 errors in the second game of the '66 series in Los Angeles.
Well, we can't blame the Baltimore Sun on those errors, then, can we?
Nope. If I knew he brought Los Angeles, I wouldn't have said it. Because we said Memorial Stadium.
Well, I knew he had some trouble in that series, but I could not remember if it was Baltimore. But Baltimore is a tough ballpark on a hot Sunday afternoon with a lot of light shirts in the crowd to pick up the ball.
How about Dodger Stadium? Now, I never played there, but if you remember the one World Series, of course, the Yankees, Pepitone lost a couple of throws from third. Never saw the ball.
Right.
We might have been looking at a few movie stars at the time, but
not Joe.
Not Joe.
Well, another thing, Scooter, that when you play in the West Coast games, especially the playoff and World Series, they'll schedule them, of course, for television at odd times. And occasionally you will play a game on the West Coast at 4 o'clock. That's, say, 7 o'clock back east. And
you don't have to tell me. They would pitch Nolan Ryan every one of those games. And for the first 5-6 innings, they couldn't see the ball. I mean, taking nothing away from Nolan, but you know how fast he was. I mean, that was unfair. Meanwhile, it's 3-2 on Gedman with 2 out. Again, he tried the off-speed pitch and missed. First and second, 2 out. And the shortstop, who is 2 for 4. Ray Quinones. I finally said it right, I think.
Quinones.
Oh, I said it wrong, no. Quinones. That's our grammar teacher and our speech therapist, Bob Shepard.
If Bob Shepard says it's Quinones, you can bet it's Quinones.
Oh, yes, see? Goes through a lot of pains to find out exactly. 0-2, the count, 2 out. We're in the top of the 9th. One ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Whitson has gotten some value despite the Yankees trailing 8-1. He's gotten some value out of this night into his 7th inning of work, and if he gets this man out 4 scoreless.
Look at this. I'd say that they got the stroke tonight. It's unbelievable. Oh, look at this stroke. Oh, a little lower they'd have had him. I mean, there was a pitch that had him fooled. He stuck one hand out, hit a little soft fly to right. They've had about 4 of those type tonight. Baylor got the weirdest hit.
But if you're Ed Whitson, Scooter, on that hit right there, it's not that base hit that was damaging to you. It's those 2 base on balls that preceded that.
Yeah, oh yes, absolutely. But that's 11 hits now off Whitson. And 5 runs charged to him. And the batter now, Marty Barrett, who is 3 for 5. Strike 1.
Of course, if you're a hitter in this kind of game, you're going up to that plate pretty loosey-goosey with your team leading 9-1. You're a little different hitter maybe than if it were 1-1.
It's funny why it's like that. Of course, the pitch has got a lot to do with it, but in games like this, it's catching, like everybody gets up and gets a hit. Sure. Then there's other games where you get 1 or 2 hits in the game.
Not saying these guys can't hit if it's a 1-1 game, but you do take a little different approach when your team's up by 8 or 9 runs.
Well, he got that changeover, and he pulled it foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two men are out in the top of the 9th. Tigers lead Baltimore 2-1 in the 8th. And a bouncer, and Willie Randolph throws it low and gets by Mattingly. Holy cow. An error that'll let another run in. An error to Willie Randolph. Gedman scores, and it's 10-1.
There, Barrett just puts it there. You see Willie with the off-balance throw. Made an outstanding play for the second out of this inning, but could not make an accurate throw on this one.
It's too bad.
There's no one better.
First error of the night for the Yankees. Second and third with 2 out, and the Red Sox lead 10-1. And a bouncer to third. And they get him. But they pick up 2 more runs on 1 hit, 1 error, 2 men left. And at the end of 8.5, it's the Red Sox 10 and the Yankees 1. That's what's left of the big crowd here tonight.
Yeah, that last inning, I think, drove a few more of them home, Scooter. But here's some Yankee home dates leading up to the All-Star break that should be exciting. The Yanks are home the remainder of this Boston series tomorrow and Wednesday night, and then they're home from the 27th of June through the 3rd of July. They're going to host the Blue Jays and the Tigers. So the same Eastern Division contenders will keep knocking heads from now till the 4th of July. And here's Gary Reneke coming to the plate for his first time since replacing Ricky Henderson in center field. He'll get a look at Mr. Clemens.
Yep, batting .286, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, and he takes a strike. So Clemens, as we told you, has really had an easy night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 innings. He pitched to only 3 men. 1 inning 4 men and 1 inning 5 men. That's only 3 men over the minimum.
A little sign of the change of baseball today and the added coverage and hype, I guess you could say, from a positive standpoint, as they have announced from the 7th inning on that Roger Clemens would be available in a special room after the game to meet the press. You know,
Yeah,
years ago
been
you
doing
pitched a
that,
game
yeah.
and you just came in, or if you were a hitter, even in Mantle's day, I think a few writers gather around your locker and that was it. Now you got a special room for your own press conference.
Right, bounce a deep short, and a good arm by the shortstop. They get Renicky one man out.
And I think that's an added reason. You know, people talk about the high salaries, free agency, the publicity that they've gotten, but I think it has attracted more attention to baseball, and it's brought more people into the stadium.
And you know what would bring more people in if Steve Carlton would talk to the press and Dave Kingman would talk to the press? They got stories people want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, baseball fans are really, they're hungry.
Well, they'll talk to fans. You know, Steve Carlton, Dave Kingman, they'll talk to fans.
Yeah,
they
but
won't talk to the press.
I know, but the press, I'm talking about reaching the
I know
most
what you mean.
amount of people.
I agree, but to each his own.
Oh, nope, he didn't get it. Did not get it. Didn't sound good when he hit it.
Wow, that's good judgment on your. I mean, when that ball was first hit, you knew right away it wasn't out.
It didn't sound right, and it's just not the Yankees' night tonight. Two great plays, though, by Evans. They were not easy catches. The one he took off Henderson and that one.
I actually thought that ball was going out, but you said right away it wasn't going to make it.
The sound,
good call.
I can't see, but I can hear. Oh, well, I got to leave early tomorrow.
Where are you going?
Jimmy? No, to the ballpark. Make sure I get here. It took me over 2 hours to get here tonight. I had a policeman give me an escort. Look out! Winfield throws the bat.
You could sleep over.
That's the furthest he's hit a ball tonight. No, he didn't hit it. Don Zimmer. Oh, Zimmer's first return to the bat since rejoining the Yankees. No, I had this policeman, Rich Wenskowski, from Metuchen. And he led me, or I'd have never gotten here even though I was late getting here. I know I'm not explaining. Oh, look at Martin. Billy Martin is up here looking at me. But I'm definitely going to get here early tomorrow. No, I'm trying to be honest, but well, I'm leaving, and see you all tomorrow. This is it. It's another 1-2-3 inning. 0-2 on Winfield. Foul back upstairs, out of play. Red Sox fans are in their glory tonight. They lead 10-1 here.
Amazing, that young man right there coming into tonight's game, averaging 8 1/3 innings per start.
Yeah, he'll lower his earned run average, too, if he gets Winfield out here. 2.28 coming in. A little low. He had started off the mound. First time all night that he wanted.
Now, you tell me that. Was that a strike? Or
Yes.
was that, yeah.
No, that was a strike. Yesterday I had my dark shades, I should say, on. And I really couldn't quite see Winfield swing. And a bouncer foul. Uh-oh. Well, he might as well leave now anyway, because once you go out in the field, you are marked for an early exit. All right, Clemens. Yep, there he goes. A little high, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. That'll be out of play. Gedman will run out of room. Yankees have just 4 hits in the ball game.
Mets finally got started with their game up in Montreal. Long rain delay in Montreal, and I think you mentioned earlier the Stick got another victory today as manager in Chicago. Beat Steve Carlton.
Oh, he did?
7-5. Well, his team did. 7-5.
All right, it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. And that'll do it. Jim Rice coming on. And makes the catch. The ball game is over. Final score, Red Sox 10 and the Yankees 1.